barren moors of Exmoor lurks a beast. Where? No one knows. Why? No one knows. We're here on Exmoor to find the beast of Exmoor. Pretty much.
Never.
This is our team. We are fully equipped to deal with this terrible beast.
Hi, I'm Anna. I'm one of the hunters.
Hi, I'm Zoe and I'm a tracker. I'm Isabella and I'm also a hunter.
I'm Alice and I'm a tracker with Zoe.
I'm Charlotte Godfrey and I'm a crazy scientist.
And I'm your journalist. In the 20th century, the idea of the Beast of Exmoor entered our society. There were the Scottish Sith cats, or not Jedi cats, or fairy cats, that were magical beasts. And there was also a ceremony called the Terrandurum, correct pronunciation, where the cats, household cats, were roasted for 4 days and 4 nights. And then the big ears cat, which is not a character from Noddy, would appear and then would grant their wishes, which is a good thing, but also very mysterious.
So why would we even be looking for a beast on Exmoor? In 1976, the government passed the Dangerous Wild Animals Act, which meant that anybody who had a big cat as a pet would have to release it or have it put down. This meant lots of animals were released into the wild, and also some big cats could have escaped before then. Big cats were extremely popular in the 1970s, so it's likely that many were released, and therefore many could still be here. Could this big cat still be alive on Exmoor today?
There are no other native large carnivores on Exmoor, therefore if the beast had lived and died someone would have been likely to find it or its body. In fact, in 2006, the British Big Cat Society reported that a skull found by a farmer in Devon was that of a puma. However, the Department of Environment, Food and Rural Affairs stated that based on the evidence, we do not believe that there are big cats living in the wild in England. They're a reputable source and would have lots of evidence to back this statement up, being the organisation that they are.
Also, the average lifespan of a leopard or puma is about 12 to 15 years, so obviously one couldn't survive to this day.
However, is there any chance it could still be alive?
Yes. With many cats being released, the alleged modern-day beast may be a descendant of wild cats that bred in the wild rather than a lone survivor.
Oh, although some scientists believe that the descendant of a big cat could have been a hybrid between a lynx, a leopard or a puma, rarely they are closely enough related to interbreed, so this is unlikely.
Okay. Also, according to a policeman from Scotland Yard, big cats, especially panthers, are status symbols among drug barons. Perhaps big cats are still being illegally kept as pets and may have escaped.
We are here on South Moulton Farm in Exmoor to meet Eric Lay, a farmer who, in 1983, saw the wild beast of Exmoor kill 100 of his sheep in 3 months. So, would the camera please welcome Eric? Hello, Eric.
Hi.
What happened? Yeah, tell me about what you saw.
I used to have 15 sheep in this yonder field, and then I didn't because they got killed.
How did they get killed?
They were mauled terribly on the throat, and they all died, apart from one. That one was left an orphan.
What other evidence?
Him as my son.
Thank you, Eric. What other evidence is there for the existence of the Beast of Exmoor? Well, lots of tracks have been sighted. People have claimed to have seen the beast. Later on in this programme, we will go and talk to some eyewitnesses. Also, the Daily Express offered a reward for the capture and killing of this beast, suggesting that important institutions in Britain believe that this exists.
Wait. We could say many of these deaths of Eric Lay's sheep were attributed to large dogs or foxes, which could also cause large throat injuries. Also, track mark evidence isn't reliable because often the weight of the animal, as well as the type of ground it's treading on, will distort the size of their tracks. So it could be just tracks from a large dog, and it could have turned into something that looked like a large cat.
And let's face it, many of these sightings have only got one witness, and
Hang on, let her continue.
have only got one witness, and that witness's evidence is obviously unreliable because it's unsubstantiated. And really, they could have just seen a big dog.
I passed a Swimbridge Junction when I passed a field of sheep. On a hillock, about 50 miles from the roadway, about that one I think over there, I sighted a wild cat, brown and black with pointed tipped ears in a strike position. I grew up in Western Canada. Cougars and bobcats were regularly sighted, and dimensions of the creature were marked similar, including a long curly tail. I pulled in at the first lay-by, welcome recruits, and phoned the police. The constable asked for a description and said that the emergency vehicle and the RSPCA would be called. I had been fed the line that no such beast existed in the UK. However, I reflected that young male cougars will often risk being sighted during summer months as deer move into the hills and the cats look for other sources. Somewhere over there.
14 years ago, just a little way down this river, local farmers saw the beast fishing with its paw in the river.
I'm Michael Chase, and I saw the cat here in the Simons Bath area on the 10th of January 2009. So, here in the Simons Bath area, I've seen a savage-looking, huge black cat several times. Townie say that this is just a pet cat, but a pet cat couldn't rip apart sheep like I've seen it done.
I am John Pepps, and on the 19th of March in 2010, I saw it was probably the Exmoor beast crossing the road in front of my car. But it didn't really look like a cat so much as a giant wolf thing.
How did you know it was the beast of Exmoor?
It's bloody scary.
My name's Mark, and it was Sunday, July 30th when I saw it. It was right between Wedding Cross and Exford, and I was driving my way home. It was 11 o'clock at night or some such, and I was just driving along, and this cat, it jumps out of the hedge right in front of my car, so I brake, of course. And I mean, I've been working in national parks all my life, and I've never seen anything like it.
How big?
Stopped right in front of me. Its tail was as long as its body. It was about,
How big were your hands?
size of a big Great Dane, maybe.
Ooh.
Massive. Tail as long as its body, and a rounded tip and these bright green eyes, and it ran back and forth on the road a minute before running to the other side. And I'd never believed it until now, but yeah, that convinced me.
So, Jen Hamilton. It was spring 2011, was it not, when you saw the beast?
Yes.
Here, on this beach.
I was here on Porlock Weir, out of my camper van with the back doors open, and I was sitting there about 7 p.m, the sun was setting, looking onto the beach, and I saw a big black cat, and it had a flat back and a scooped tail, which is how I knew it was the beast of Exmoor. Well, not the beast of Exmoor yet. And it walked across the beach, and I shouted, and it didn't respond, and just sort of strode steadily onwards and into some trees to the right.
So, how did you come to the conclusion that it was the beast of Exmoor, if you didn't know that there was a beast?
Well, I'd never heard of the beast of Exmoor until I went into the local pub on the beach, and I read it in the local newspaper. But unfortunately, it was only me who was there, because my friend, although they were there with me, had no contacts in, so couldn't see it. But I promise it's definitely true.
How far away was it, exactly?
About 10 metres. It was really close, and I'm certain of what I saw.
Due to the expansive nature of Exmoor National Park, even if somebody did sight some creature out here on the moors, it would still be difficult to gauge its size relative to anything around it, seeing as there is only heather.
No noticeable landmarks there to judge size.
No, indeed not.
And what about other problems with the photographic evidence we have to date?
There are a few photographs of cat's eyes, or what are claimed to be the eyes of the beast. And we know scientifically that cat's eyes go slit in the night, and panthers, which is what it's very likely to be, go round like ours.
So, there have been lots of photographic evidence of the beast on Exmoor. So you'd think, okay, well, photographs are generally reliable sources, and the most reliable came from the West Somerset Free Press in 1989. And obviously, as a reputable newspaper, you'd think, trustworthy evidence. However, lots of these photos have been taken in the dark, and obviously black animals will look larger in the dark.
Definitely.
So you'll have fuzzed edges. Also, lots of them maybe it's just of common house cat, where the proportion has simply been kind of changed. And of course, photographic evidence is easy to change nowadays.
Definitely.
What with Photoshop and technology.
Hapless prey for the beast of Exmoor! So Alice, do you think hypothetically the beast could survive on Exmoor with the prey here?
I think it probably could. You hear lots of stories of the sheep just disappearing. This is evidently part of carcass from the beast's prey. Here you can see some prey that could possibly be eaten by the beast.
What, am I the prey?
Okay, these sheep and this human are
This
likely
hapless
suspects.
human, look at
I'm not
her.
very agile.
Indeed.
Possible prey for the beast? Anna, do you think a beast could live in this habitat?
Well, I really think with the wide open spaces and plenty of areas to hide, I think that a beast could go unfound for many years in an environment like this.
And we haven't spotted many hikers.
Exactly, with ample prey.
Definitely.
Who knows? I really think that this environment could sustain a beast.
So, what have you learned about the terrain on Exmoor concerning the beast of Exmoor?
Well, as we can see here, there's plenty of water sources, lots and lots of little rivers everywhere, so the beast would not be lacking for water. And of course, around those water sources, animals do congregate, so it could seek out its prey in those areas. Also, the fact that Exmoor is quite large means that, well, it would be very difficult to spot such a beast, even if it were to exist. So I really think terrain on Exmoor would be capable of supporting life such as the beast.
Thank you, Anna. And Izzy, we've known beasts like panthers to survive in the slums of Mumbai. I mean, putting that in perspective in Exmoor, could you give me a comment or two?
Yes, definitely. Big cats are extremely resourceful animals. They're very intelligent and they're very elusive and they're very wary of human beings. So it's very likely that they're living somewhere far out in the depths of Exmoor, and it's very likely someone won't have seen it for years.
And some reports have said that they actually, could raise their cubs in disused mines and railways. So very likely.
Yeah.
Thank you.
This is perfect beast country, with its wide open spaces and plentiful prey. Look, there's one that's finished off already. This could be the place that we find the beast of Exmoor.
Well, the beast, as we've been told, is possibly quite large. People have told us. It's quite dark colours, and it's about 6 feet from nose to tail, roughly, and can jump 6 feet in the air. From the inexpert eyewitnesses and other accounts that we have heard, people think that it's most likely to be a breed between the puma and the leopard.
So hybrid species.
Yes.
Okay, but what's wrong with that theory?
So what's wrong with the theory is that people have bred those in captivity and they have turned out to be small and lives are short-lived. Also, the male species are sterile, which means that the species couldn't live on, so if there is a beast, it's probably on its own and not with a pack.
So overall, what do we think, if there is a beast, what sort of species would it be?
We think it's most likely to be a black leopard.
Why not a black puma then?
Well, because these are quite rare and they've never been in captivity in the UK, so if one to be roaming around wild would be quite extraordinary.
After 1983, due to the number of livestock deaths, the government sent the army to Exmoor to search for the beast.
Were they successful?
No. So they left and it just didn't materialise into anything.
But, I mean, the fact they sent the army down here, do you have a comment on that?
Well, it was probably a bit excessive, but maybe it was worth it because of the risk he posed to the livestock and the people there.
Definitely. But looking at it from a modern perspective, I mean, it shows how much the locals must have feared this beast.
Yes, it does, because they wanted to protect the people that lived here.
Daily Mail reported in January 2009 that by Croyd Bay, so what we found could have washed up there, was a long carcass with a large skull and teeth that people believed was the Exmoor beast. However, it was later discovered, due to decomposition, that it was actually a big seal and the flippers had just kind of washed away and rotted. And so
But at the time, what did the locals believe, and what did the chief of police think?
Well, Sergeant Pearce said it almost definitely could be the Exmoor, which makes us think that people don't want to give up hope, because if they want to think it's out there, they don't actually. I think people don't want definitive evidence. They don't want to know one way or another, because they don't want to keep this going, because I don't know, it just makes them feel...
Yeah, part of their Exmoor identity.
Finally, guys, I think we have to say that we don't just but this could be positive, right? Yeah, if the beast was proved not to exist, then it would destroy the fun and intrigue of the myth.
Also, it'd make eyewitnesses feel ridiculed and humiliated. Given the government spent so long and so much money looking for the beast, if it were proved not to exist, then they would be subject to ridicule and humiliation. On the other hand,
On the other hand, if the beast does exist, then it would be put down, it could be put in captivity or killed, which would be terrible. Such a free-loving, free-Christian animal. What about the farmers? It would poison everything, and they would also maybe claim compensation for the sheep that they had, which would be very expensive.
so in conclusion, thank you for watching our documentary about the Beast of Exmoor. We hope one day you will get to meet it. Thank you. At the end of the day, you're another day closer. That's all you can say for the life of DofE. It's a struggle, it's a war, and there's nothing that anyone's giving. Warm a day, walking about, what was it for? One day closer to Dunster. At the end of the day, you're another day tired. And the shoes on your feet, they don't keep out the pain.
And the crowds
right
they pass, they don't hear the little ones crying, and the night time is coming on fast,
ready to kill. One day closer to Dunster. At the end of the day is one day less of walking. And the sweet of Dunster is ready to rise. Like the feet crash on the ground, like a storm that'll break any second. There's a hunger in this group, and it's Mr. Us shall have to pay at the end of the day.